Okay, so after the entire block is covered and the 2 rows or the 3 rows are sewn together, this is what it should look like. And then we want to trim around the outside edge 1/4 inch from the solid line. The dotted lines more than likely are 1/4 of an inch, but it's better if you ignore that dotted line. The reason the dotted line is printed on there is to make sure you get your fabrics out that far so you have a full 1/4 inch in your seam allowance. But if you cut all of your blocks 1/4 inch from the solid line all the way around, it's more likely that your edges will match and your seam lines will match. Okay, so here we have it all trimmed. Now, the neat thing about these blocks, you're going to make a total of 8 to make your whole star. You can lay it out like this, like on the cover of the pattern, or you can make the dark the center, or you can alternate them. Whoops, I'm sorry. You can alternate them. You can have them like this, or you can have them like this. This is the way it is on the cover. This is the way I am going to do it again, because if I put this, the light points, there's not a lot of difference between it and the background. So to show you how to do this, the set-in seam, this will make up 1/4 of the block, of the full block, and then this is your background, like that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sew our 2 blades together, and we need to match our points again. You want to match this point right here with the same point where the 2 solid lines come together. Got that? You want your edges even. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to match our seam lines. Those match. And we're going to match this one, this line here, this line of stitching. Put pin here. You pin it, it should come out perfect. And very important that we match our center point. So when we get all 8 or all 4 quarters together, we'll have a perfect point in the middle. Right, that. Make sure it matches the bottom one. Like that. Okay, now, it's very important when you start this row, you start right at that point. I'm going to take my pin out, and I'm going to put my needle down right at that point. Okay, and then I'm going to take 2 stitches, and then I'm going to back stitch just once, and sew on down the line. all the way out to that broken line. And I didn't trim it off before because I'm going to trim it off now, trim off that point. Clip our threads. Make sure our diamond points, they look beautiful to me. I'm going to press this seam open. Okay, now that dreaded Y seam or inset seam, it is simple, simple, simple. Up here you want to cut off the tip on the broken line. Okay, so we're going to put, this is my background piece, my corner piece. We're going to match one edge up with our blade, the outer part of the blade. I'm going to come down here and at my seam right here where the two blades meet, I'm going to open that up like that and pull the bottom one away, and I'm going to put my piece of background fabric. I want to match the end, the point, this point, with the corner of my background fabric. And then we're going to put a pin down there to hold that in place. Okay, so you have that edge and that edge like that. And then just put a couple pins, one or two. Okay, now we're going to take it to the machine. And you see how this is pulled away to make like a straight line. You want to make sure your bottom, your other blade is not caught in this stitching. And your background piece, the edges are even. And then you want to put your needle down right at the end, right at that point where you're stitching, when you stitch the two blades together, where you stopped and you did a back stitch, just like that. Take your pin out, don't want to sew over your pin. And now we're just going to sew right down this line. Match my edges here. There we go. You can back stitch there if you want. Clip my threads. Okay, so here we have, when you lay it out flat, it should look like this. Okay, so then we're going to open this up. We're going to swing this around. And you're going to pull this blade that you've already sewn it to, kind of folds in half. Open that up right there at the point and bring this on down. Actually want to do it like this side. You always want to sew on the foundation side because you have the line there. And let me cut this tip off on, whoops, on this blade. Okay, so that point right there, just like that. Just sew down this side on the line. Like to keep that seam open and flat. My edges are even with my fabric underneath. And you're going to come down here. You want to make sure everything is pulled away. Keep that. Oops, let me get my pin out of the way. And I'm going to come down and I'm going to sew right to this point. And you can feel that that's where this underneath seam is. There's a fold of fabric there. You don't want to catch that fold. You just want to go right to the end of that seam. And then I'm going to take a back stitch. Trim my threads. Open it up. And there you have your perfect Y seam. Yep. Okay, so then when I press this one, I generally press it towards that background piece. And keeping all of these pressed open, it comes up and it kind of just folds over like that. And it's that simple. A beautiful flat inset seam. And that's what the back looks like. I hope that helped. You're going to make 4 units just like this. And then you're going to take another one like this and you'll stitch. It'll be on this side. You'll put right sides together, stitch down this, starting at that point. Don't stitch beyond the point. Stitch it all the way down, making sure that your seams match in the middle. And then you'll do the triangle, set in the exact same way. Sew it from the end down to the point, stop, rotate so you can sew the other side of the triangle to the other side of the blade that's on this side. That's it. That's all there is to it. If you have any questions, you can email me at deb@easypiecing.com and I will answer any questions that you might have. I hope this helps. Have a good day. Enjoy.